UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said that recognizing Donetsk and Luhansk, the unilateral measures conflicted directly with the principles of the Charter of the United Nations, and that he also said and name-checked the International Court of Justice. I don't know whether for a prosecution of Vladimir Putin. If the UN Secretary General, who presumably has some of the history books there, if Antonio Guterres says this, speaking for the UN, then the Russian Federation has committed a crime.
So thanks for having me, Arthel. It's great to be with you.
By the way, International Court of Justice doesn't sue anyone. It just gives legal assessment of a deed of an issue.
They already have a natural blessing that they border these NATO countries, that American and NATO logistics can be brought to bear within hours. And this should be a sprint.
Documents and founding father of the United States, under the pretext that there was genocide against Albanians. It was not an aggression, according to the Western interpretation. It was a humanitarian mission. Why the West ignores the 8 years going civil war that Kyiv started against Donetsk and Lugansk people, who have been shelled for 8 years? And civilians, thousands of them were killed. In my house now in Moscow lives a woman from Lugansk region whose house stained without windows here. And she's crying every day, etc. Why?
We should be talking about that because the situation is
preceding
it has changed, and yet the administration is clinging to it as if this was some sort of academic exercise 2 weeks ago.
Since the fights over the Donetsk airport, and there was real threat to the lives of the people. And that's one thing.
As you know, in the NATO nation media, all we hear about are people from there attacking Ukraine. But you mentioned Yugoslavia. On this program, we talk time and time again of alleged violations of the UN Charter by NATO members. You mentioned Yugoslavia there. Which is often alleged. Two wrongs make a right. Russia now acting like the United States.
Russia wasn't planning on this. They were planning on
Russia, well, as far as Kosovo is concerned, there was no referendum at all, and the West recognized Kosovo contrary to all rules and regulations of international law. No, let me just say another thing. This is only one aspect of what has happened already. Another aspect is that the West was not sparing any effort to shrink the Russian zone of security. And with every step in this shrinking, we were accused more and more of allegedly being so aggressive, etc. So we had to pay and to pay for our losses. The string was compressed to the limit. And Mr. Putin and our government warned in December, and they openly, declared the principles which would satisfy Russia exactly in terms of its legitimate security. Just imagine if Mexico is becoming very anti-American in government, and Russia starts supplying it with Soviet Union starts supplying it with arms. This prospects for Mexico to enter the Warsaw Pact. Do you think what would the United States do in this case? We know what they did during the Caribbean crisis when Khrushchev installed some rockets, next reaching the American territory. And we were on the brink of nuclear war. But we were wise enough, to step back. So the strength is compressed to the limit. It can only unclench. And that if we have to pay, that's my own opinion, you know, I'm not a state functioner, I'm just an expert. And besides my past as member of parliament, first of all, I'm a historian, and from the family of renowned historians who studied international relations from 18th to 20th century.
Okay,
My father is really
arguably
we have to pay. If we pay, it's better to pay for gains and not for losses.
Well, arguably the United States interfered with the Mexican Revolution in a very different way, and obviously did occupy territory. But then why did Vladimir Putin say he wasn't going to invade? And what were all the Russian drills, military drills that occurred in Belarus and in Russia beforehand, while Russian, even the Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, all assuring everyone there would be no invasion? Was it just that particular night's shelling by Ukraine that is alleged that caused this invasion? Or had this been a plan for months and even years?
Russia was believing and understanding and seeing that obviously the West to have a pretext not to, I mean the United States of course, and maybe also Britain, because Europe has no voice. It's faded so much in terms of ideas, concepts, etc. So, it's a real Untergang des Abendlandes, according to Oswald Spengler. They, to have a pretext not to answer Russia's demands with regard to security situation, certainly sponsored the aggravation of situation against Donetsk region, which Ukraine performed, especially to provoke Russia. It was clear. So if you want this, now you have it, because we have left no other way out of it. We can't leave our people who beg Russia, where are you, without help. So
just because you're provoked doesn't mean you need to respond to provocation. And you mentioned Spengler. I think hardly the person
there's a famous book on the degradation of Europe.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's a good one to mention at this stage. Natalia Narutskaya, I'll stop you there. More from the former Vice Chairman of the International Affairs Committee in the Russian Duma after this break.
This car moving past us now, it's women and children who are coming across the rail to be able to see the ambulance that's here. We've been seeing a couple of elderly being loaded into the ambulance.
It's been 30 years since the Soviet Union collapsed.
Нам міська влада доручила демонтувати пам'ятник Леніну. Так сталося, що ми його свого часу монтували там.
Ukraine was one of the independent states that emerged from the ruins of the superpower.
В 90-м году, 91-м году украинскому народу обещали красивую жизнь, самостоятельность, независимость. И людей опять обманули.
Но те люди, которые голосовали за независимость Украины, они добились независимости. То есть политически было принято решение. А вот дальше, как говорится, развиваться в стране, они уже были не готовы.
What have the past 3 decades been like for Ukraine? Eyewitnesses recall the events.
Те, що відбувалося восени 2004 року і в ранню зиму, це навіть не революція.
Это начало приобретать формы цветной революции.
And what other forces were at play?
Я тоді зрозумів, що всі інші наші іноземні радники говорять, а американці роблять. Мені здається, що Захід не може завершити жодної справи.
Take a look at Ukraine. 30 years after gaining independence.
Итог развития страны за 30 лет – это потеря промышленности, потеря населения, потеря территории.
Можливо, ми провели 30 найцікавіших років нашого становлення.
Что празднуем?
Coming into border areas like the one that Arlo David is.
Welcome back. I'm still here with Natalia Narycheskaya, the former vice chairman of the International Affairs Committee in the Russian Duma. The pro-Moscow line seems to be talking about Azov battalions and neo-Nazis. What do you think about President Zelensky saying, you are told we are Nazis, but can a people support Nazis that gave more than 8 million lives for the victory over Nazism? How can I be a Nazi? Tell my grandpa, who went through the whole war in the infantry of the Soviet army and died as a colonel in independent Ukraine. That's what Zelensky says.
I read this address of Mr. Zelensky. It's a pity that he never said it 5 years ago, when Nazis' portraits were carried along streets of Kiev with torches and glorifying the Hitler henchmen there.
They don't show that in countries here, in the media in NATO nation countries.
The information picture in Europe is totally different from ours. That's why we do not understand each other, because they are glorifying Bandera.
That may be the case as far as you see it. They deny that. And in fact, they continuously, and Boris Johnson in his statement comparing the invasion to Sudetenland, implicitly referencing Hitler, and we hear that the Ukrainians continually comparing Vladimir Putin to Hitler. What do you think the Russian people, Russian politicians, Russian elites, and the ordinary Russians think when they are being compared to Hitler and the Nazis routinely now in the United States and in Western Europe?
Well, of course, we are disillusioned about the West, but the West has overdosed its, nihilism towards Russia. Some 20 years ago, Russians were sensitive to what was said about Russia and its leadership in the West. Now they couldn't care less anymore because they don't trust the West. They see that no matter how we behave, we are barbaric, like zigzag of world history for them, and they cannot stand that.
You can get a matching single-serve egg pen absolutely free. It's perfect for making personalized eggs and delicious breakfast sandwiches in a flash. So upgrade your cooker today and get it all with free shipping. Call or click now.
Order, call 1-800-681-7556. That's 1-800-681-7556. Or order online at gothamhammer.com.
Ukraine, these are 10,000 battle-hardened Islamic extremists who won't have any compunction.
Have you ever seen
men, women, children? They will see as infidels. This is really a very serious moment. And yet here in Moscow today,
on this
fairly fine, but
boring
has been vanished. It feels totally,
and everyone
serious.
is part of
Okay, Nick Holdsworth, thank you very much for that. Very worrying developments indeed. Nick Holdsworth there from Moscow.
Close to perfect.
Well, refugees fleeing Russia's invasion of Ukraine headed west on the third day of fighting. Around 100,000 people have crossed into Poland from Ukraine since Thursday. The Polish government has reserved 70,000 hospital beds for the war-wounded and preparing a train to transport the injured from Ukraine. The UN Refugee Agency expects up to 4 million Ukrainians could flee if the situation deteriorates further.
Sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning.
Like many countries in Eastern Europe, Hungary has extended legal protection to Ukrainians running from the war. It's letting them in at all 5 land crossings along its 137-kilometer border between it and Ukraine. Often considered an ally of Russia's Vladimir Putin, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban has pledged his support for all EU sanctions against Russia. He's also reversed his anti-migrant stance, welcoming all Ukrainians into his country. Take a listen.
1-866-517-5748 or visit homeserve.com. We're letting everyone in.
84% of people.
I've seen people without travel documents, but we're providing them with some. We're also allowing in those who've arrived arrived from other countries.
Take control. CNN special
Well, France 24's Leo McGuinn brings us up to date on the growing numbers of Ukrainian refugees seeking safety in neighbouring countries.
We are back now with more
A line of cars that stretches for several kilometers. Since the beginning of the Russian invasion, Ukrainians have been fleeing their country en masse, mostly women and children. The Ukrainian government has banned men between the ages of 18 and 16 from leaving the country. They must stay and face the Russian army.
We're from the Ivano-Frankivsk region. They bombed the airport right away. I immediately took our documents, our belongings, and ran away.
Give me your interpretation.
Their destination, Poland, a border country with a large Ukrainian community. But according to Polish authorities, the waiting time at the border can be up to 12 hours.
We are staying here for a long time, maybe 6 or 7 hours already, but it's crazy. Actually, I don't want to leave my native country, but because of the invaders, I must leave it as fast as possible.
Elsewhere in Romania, authorities counted an influx of almost 20,000 refugees in 2 days.
Normal traffic is around 20 cars a day. Now we have at least 50 to 60 for each terminal. There are lots of people with luggage, with small children, because on the other side, the situation is desperate.
According to the UN, the war could cause the exodus of 5 million people. A meeting on the migration crisis is scheduled for Sunday between the European Union's interior ministers.
EU members are close to deploying what's been dubbed the nuclear option of possible sanctions on Russia. After its initial reluctance, Germany is now on board with excluding Russia from the SWIFT international payment system. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has hailed the step, saying this will result in, quote, billions of losses for Russia, a tangible price for
Blue
this
and yellow
violent
of Ukraine
invasion.
was draped around so many ahead of kickoff at Goodison Park.
Ukraine has denied Russia's suggestions that it was refusing to negotiate a ceasefire. It said Russia had attached
It was, of
unacceptable
course, to stand
conditions to
with
potential
Ukraine
talks.
and its
Well,
people.
here's what Vladimir
For the
Putin's
emotion from Man
spokesperson had to
City's
say.
Alexander Zinchenko and Everton's Vitaly Mykolenko was too raw.
Friday afternoon, due to the anticipated talks with the Ukrainian leaders, the commander-in-chief
And across the country, many others took part too, yet they allowed football to protest.
However, combat
Fans in Bradford clapping in solidarity. An Aston Villa player supporting his teammate currently in Kiev. And a top flight club leading for peace on the global stage. On the pitch, another day in this conflict and another set of sporting sanctions crashing down on Russia. Poland and Sweden announcing they'll refuse to play against them in the Football World
Continuing
Cup.
coverage of Russia's invasion of Ukraine continues in just a moment. Stay with us here on France 24.
This has been a dark day for everyone. It's been dark for days. Sport is really kind of seen as an escape to all this, and for it to be, the sport should be included in all of this. It seems a real blow to a lot of people.
Already this proud sporting nation has lost playing host to the Champions League final, and its F1 Grand Prix in Sochi has been axed. But some believe Russia should suffer more by banning them from this year's World Cup.
They are not very happy with that, those decisions, of course, and thought that shorts and football should not be linked with politics. But that's exactly how Russia has been using sports in the past. So I think it's good to see that the sports are also showing that they have their own opinion. And as I said before, that human rights are more important than violence.
But as Russia is punished, Ukraine still suffers. That is the bigger picture. Football today, united in its desire for peace, played a small part. Inzamam Rashid, Sky News.
Watching Sky News coming up. All the latest developments from Ukraine as Russian troops advance on Kiev on day 3.
Hi,
The Russian
I'm here to help. I know tax season can be a little messy. That's where filing with Tax Act can make all the difference. And with Tax Act, you get your maximum refund. Oh, looks like you really cleaned up. to Tax Act and start for free.
Welcome to Home Sweet WeatherTech Home, a place where dirt stays outside and floors are protected, where standing is comfortable and water never leaves a mark. It's spotless under the sink, and kids can be kids. Order your American-made products at WeatherTech.com.
I think there is some disagreement, however,
I was under a lot of stress.
I was getting older.
I started taking Nutrafol. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement. I am back to me. Start your hair growth journey at Nutrafol.com.
When it comes to finding the right parts to fix your car, shop CarParts.com. To always find the right parts fast, to always save up to 50%, and to always be certain the parts you purchase will fit perfectly. Good thing our ironclad fitment guarantee covers every part we sell, from headlights to mirrors to brake kits. Get the right parts right now at CarParts.com.
Tomorrow morning, UN Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield joins Dana Bash as the war in Ukraine rocks Europe. Plus, Senator Mitt Romney on his warning about the Russian threat, and NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg from State of the Union live tomorrow morning at 9.
Prostate prisoner number 302.
Why so sleepy? Almost trips to the bathroom all night. You?
Yeah, I used to. Then I did something about it.
Giving those prostate products never work.
I thought so too. Then I found full focus in prostate. Powered by Injectus. Breakthrough Prostate Formula is guaranteed to reduce nighttime bathroom trips, promote better bladder health, even improve performance in the bedroom. So claim your complimentary 14-day sample by texting OFFICE to 231-231. Full potency prostate contains 4 clinically validated key ingredients at the exact levels effective in clinical studies. Why risk anything else? Free yourself from prostate prison. Get your complimentary sample of full potency prostate by texting OFFICE to 231-231. Text now and we'll include a box of Nugenix Cellular Energy for all-day energy without the jitters. Absolutely free. That's OFFICE to 231-231. So much.
We're a different kind of dentistry. One who believes in doing anything it takes to make dentistry work for your life. So we offer a complete exam and x-rays free to new patients without insurance every day. Plus, patients get 20% off their treatment plan. We're on your corner and in your corner every step of the way. Because your anything is our everything. Aspen Dental, anything to make you smile. Book today at AspenDental.com. Log in or call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL.
The Human Factor, brought to you by Aspen Dental. We know the power of a smile and will do anything to help you smile again. Make an appointment today at AspenDental.com.
People say that dance is therapy, and I 100% agree with that. So you're just piercing your bills, and whatever's going on in your head, you can just forget about it and express whatever you're feeling through movement. It's really beautiful and healing.
Defiant Volodymyr Zelensky says Kiev remains under Ukrainian control as Russian forces continue their assault for a third day. Missiles and artillery strikes pounded the capital and other cities as residents prepared
The Sky News at 8 o'clock to headlines for you.
Everything that has been done.
100,000 Ukrainians flee west as the fighting continues.
Assault on the
Nations
Ukrainian
preparations for a growing influx
says
of
his
refugees
forces are still in control in Kiev and elsewhere.
And EU members are close to activating what's being dubbed a nuclear option of sanctions on Russia after Germany.
They didn't succeed.
Russia's exclusion from the international banking system. EU foreign ministers are also set to meet this Sunday to discuss
filmed about
sanctions
90
on Moscow.
miles from Kiev as Russia claims it's taken one Ukrainian city. That's denied by the Ukrainians and the British government.
First this hour, President Volodymyr
People's
Zelensky
resistance
says
to the
Kiev
Russian
remains under
invasion.
Ukrainian
Citizens
control.
arming
Russian
themselves
forces are
and
meeting
signing
a
up.
stiff resistance as they continue their push in the capital.
Warm welcome in Poland
The
for
mayor
weary
of Kiev
refugees.
has extended a
UN
citywide
estimates
curfew until Monday morning
120,000
from
people
5 p.m.
may have
to
left.
8 a.m. local time. Ukraine has warned that Russian sabotage groups are inside the city and anyone breaking the curfew
Protests sending the message that Ukrainians are not alone in
at least
London and in
158
cities around the
Ukrainians,
world.
including 3 children,
And handing over the stewardship of Chelsea, its billionaire Russian owner.
Well, this is the third day Ukraine has faced bombardment by Russian forces. U.S. defense officials say Russia fired more than 250 missiles
Good
at
evening.
Ukraine
Ukraine's
since the
president
start of the
sent a
invasion.
simple message.